This is the location we're going to be filming our short fight choreography scene, and as I said into the introduction, this is where we're going to be doing the action sequence, where we compare the use of two different special effects. We're going to use CGI later on, so we're going to put some markers on the imitation guns, and then not add any fake blood or anything, and then later on, after that shoot, we're going to do the same again, exactly the same fight-wise, but then use prosthetics for bone breaks. We use fake blood, a little bit of latex for broken nose, and a couple of teeth spat out. And that's the whole kind of consensus of the short behind the scenes, is to what's better and what works and what's more practical, etc.
Up a little bit, up a little bit, and then we'll just go from here and we'll just like this. It's like cut in. Ready?
Hello, so I'm working as the weapon handler on set because the two guns we're using are mine. This first one is quite a small, simple BB gun, nothing fancy, just simple cock every time you shoot, fires air. This is a bit heftier. This is a full-on starter pistol, costs a lot of money, fires these blanks, holds 10 in a round, and is very loud, just like a real gun. So I'm mostly here just to make sure that no one injures themselves while using them, no one shoots them directly at anyone, and that they're used safely.
Due to the nature of the shoot, because we have like guns and imitation firearms and knives and stuff, we've chosen quite an isolated location. As you can see here, we're in an abandoned swimming pool, just a couple of meters from our university. And obviously, because there's blanks and stuff, which is very obviously realistic sounding gun noises, we informed the local police authorities, let them know that this is happening at this location at this time. So if someone does call anything in, or if the police are called up, they'll be like, yep, we have confirmation that someone is filming here with imitation firearms, etc. And yeah, so if someone just passed me the gun here, for the CGI part, I say CGI or special effects part of the shoot, we are adding coloured markers to the gun. In this case, we'll be adding blue because it's a contrasting colour to the orange. So it's a bit like how a green screen works for the editing. So what we're going to do is grab some blue ones here. And let's pop it on the side of the gun. Just to confirm, this is for like muzzle flashes that the animator is going to put in post.
Because the gun rear ejects the blanks, so nothing comes out the front, so there won't be any kind of flash or anything like that when you actually fire it.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, we've got the tracking pad here, So either way, no matter how the gun's going to be looking, we can easily lock onto that in post and add muzzle flashes, and it'll be nice and good. And looking really cool. So Austin's using the internet to film fight scenes, and then Sarah's getting behind the scenes of that.
I don't think I can.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Austin, so I'm doing the camera and the DOP work for this shoot. It's just going to go through some of the lenses we're using. For this shoot, I think, because it's a close-up fight scene, we're going to be looking at wide-angle lenses. So I'll be using the 16 to 35 2.8, really super wide. And any really close ups, we'll be using the 14mm 2.8. Again, keeping everything at 2.8, easy to manage the apertures and the exposures. 50, if we want to go for close ups, that's a 1.2, so we can get a really nice depth of field. We might not use that depending on what kind of shots we've got going on. But yeah, we're basically just going to be shooting on wide angles. We've got a mic, and then a couple of other lenses. The camera we're using is actually the A7S, which is crazy in low light, because I know we're going to be shooting in low light. So this is perfect for this location, seeing as we've got no lights. Little adapter ring, there's no autofocus, but we're pros, we didn't use autofocus. And yeah, it's got slow-mo capabilities as well, which should be quite cool. When we're doing the fight scenes and all the blood's blowing out, the nice slow-mo on that. We'll make everything look pretty, because that's my job. I make people look pretty.
So we've just come outside the set to meet Topher, one of our fight coordinators slash combat choreographers at the moment. Cool. So
expert, I like that.
yeah. Can we just give me a quick overview of what you'll be doing today?
I'm fighting stunt performer with John. I'm being beaten up by John. Then I'll kill him.
Would you just like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Veronica. I'm a makeup artist and I've been doing this now for over a year. I have trained in Christine Brundell Makeup Academy in London, and I really enjoy special effects makeup. That's what I would like to do the most. Today I think I'm going to be doing some bullet guns, scratches and all sorts of things. I think I'm going to start using wax, and I got different palettes that I usually use. I think we're going to be using blood as well, yeah?
Okay.
These are prosthetic makeups, so I will be using as well some special glues, and of course I brought the removers with me and everything for later on. And I think we're gonna have fun.
Cool. Sweet. Can you just, if we just go down, can you just point out what bits are what? I mean, obviously we can see a nice little bone sticking out of some skin there.
These are two pieces made with latex, wax, and other bits and pieces. I usually use the special glues to stick it on there as well. I might be using wax as well later on. I've got my brush wheel and different bits and pieces. I got the bloods here, different type of bloods, darker, scab, powder. I got as well, I don't know if we're going to use them today, but they are blood capsules.
Okay.
Yep.
So is that for when someone gets punched in the mouth, or
That's
they can
right,
just
yes.
pop it and then? Cool, that's good. That'd be pretty good to have actually. Yeah.
Okay. What else? I've got bits and pieces here as well that we can use to cover the skin. This is like cut plastic. It's like a very fine prosthetic material. Yeah, and different tools. Of course, the palette, Illustrator palettes, which are to paint the prosthetics very realistically.
Okay.
Yep.
So how many years did it take you to train to do this?
Just a few months, to be honest, but I've been doing this for a while now. Because I really like prosthetics, so that's my dream, to be able to work in a studio. Yes.
So it's like a passion, because like obviously with a lot of CGI guys, they do it because they really enjoy it. Did you always want to be like working in like makeup?
Yes, being a painter for many years, so I think makeup is really what I want to do right now, just for the past few years. And yeah, I think we will have fun today.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you very much. So we're here with Topher and Veronica at the moment, and we're just quickly applying some broken nose makeup. Because this is quite a complicated like scene, with the practical we're only doing it a couple of times because we've only got so much prosthetics and blood. Whereas with the CG, it was very easy to just kind of like do as many as we can, because it can be fixed in post. Because the whole like blood splatter, the gunshots are in post.
It's cold.
So from what I understand, it's actually like a wax.
Yes, just a wax. I'm just trying to smooth the edges now, just to make it blend with the skin. And then we'll start the colouring.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, we have a lot of our crew in a very funny position. The reason for this is, so we have Austin who has to stay in the same position. Essentially, we're doing one move, pause, hold that position. So then, say for example, our actor Topher's been slashed here. We let him run off, quickly rip the t-shirt, apply the blood, put him in the position he was before. So then it looks like he's actually been slashed. And then we're doing that with each major part of the scene. So we're also going to get a nice bone break coming out of John's arm. We're also going to have a couple of teeth being spit out. And we've got to get this done as soon as we can because it's getting darker and darker.
Rolling sound.
Cut this.
Yeah, cut this,
Rolling camera.
Alright.
Blood spit, take one. Blood and tooth spit, take one. Action.
Nice.
Oh my god, take off. Or take two.
And remember, biggest what you can. Action.
Action. And cut.
Nice. That was the one.
So we're here with both of our fight choreographers for today. We've got John and Topher, and they're quickly going to talk about their experiences of today. So it's been quite a busy one, a bit chaotic. Just talk us through the process of what you both went through today.
Well, first of all, we met up yesterday just to practice and go through some of the fight choreography, and I mean he's had some training, I've had some training, so it wasn't too difficult to implement those movements today. Though I think repeating those movements on a regular basis, you know what I mean?
It's a bit different coming up with the routine in 45 minutes on grass and then doing a swimming pool
On concrete.
on concrete. We didn't think about that one.
No, we did not.
It worked out well.
You've told us about the choreography process. What about this, like the kind of special effects side of things? Like also we did a lot of digital stuff, which we haven't. It was going to be done in post, and then we also done a lot of prosthetics and kind of like blood and stuff. Tell us about the process of that, and which ultimately do you prefer and why?
Well, I think with prosthetics, I mean, it was you always have to be very careful about not ruining it, and making sure that you're still able to be in character without ruining any makeup that you have on them already. And I will say the blood capsules were god awful.
Yeah, it is nice. Close your tongue. Yeah. I think performance-wise, it's easier doing it when you look kind of like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you can kind of bounce off each other's reactions. You actually see the blood as opposed to imagining it. But yeah, again, I think my nose is peeling off.
So, and lastly, with the kind of major question of the dissertation, the question is, how is the believability of film affected by the use of CGI or practical effects? In both of your opinions, what do you think looks and works better and affects the believability of film?
Yeah, well, it depends sort of what you're looking for style-wise. But I think personally, using realistic effects like this always sort of looks better because it makes the performance look better. And you can do it right then and there, so you know exactly what it's going to look like. You can touch up it. And then if something doesn't work, you can tweak it. Whereas if you're trying to change it all in post by putting CGI in, you realise something like the arm's not quite in the right position and you're a little bit stuck.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel a combination of both without overcompensating one with the other. I think I do prefer the prosthetics just because we can see it's visual, and film is all about being visual. I think when it comes to CGI, like you said, touching up, I think that is important to have that option to fix things where we might see necessary.
So I'm here in the editing suite at the moment with JJ. He's one of our main animators for the special effects sequence. So JJ, do you want to talk through the process of how you managed to do the gore?
Well, first of all you have to do is like get some footage, and then you got to put blood effect over it. So far you got to get a stock video. It looks like this. Boom. And then you got to put it on top. So that's what it looked like without the blood effect. So when I turn the layer on, there's the blood. So in order to put the stock image on top, you put it on over the layer, but right now it will just turn out with green in the way. So what I did was a little effect. So I'm gonna key out the green by using key light. So little dropper tool here, so key out the green and away goes the green. Right now, that's not where he's slashed in. So we're gonna move it right there. And that's how it happens.
Oh, cool. So it is just a case of layering it. So, seeing as you did most of the effects for the fight sequence, was there any particular moments that were quite challenging for you? And if so, what were they?
Well, there was a time, for example, when you got John, when he gets shot, I thought you could like keep the wound to his after when he's been shot. I wanted to do after when he's shot, I wanted to show a wound and just place it on top, but it was really hard to like track position it on when the video was moving. So I thought practical effects would be easier. It's more believable then. Just takes up a lot of time and it's really advanced.
So even doing a bit of CGI, you still believe practical effects are better?
Well, you can work both ways. Well, you want CGI to make the blood effects look awesome and believable. Yeah, and you want to add some muzzle flash effects as well, which is also good.
That was a good answer, because one thing we're trying to find out in the video as well is, not necessarily what's better, but I think it is CGI and practical effects do have to work together to make a scene more believable.
Yeah, just what's necessary.
Yeah. So I'm here with Luke, our second effects artist, and he's going to go through some of the effects that he's done for the action sequence. So Luke, your main focus was the bullet wounds in the last part of the scene. Could you please go through exactly how you did it, and what troubles did you run into?
Yeah, first thing that I started is to find an actual wound that would fit. So I actually took a real wound from a real bullet victim, a gun victim. Yeah, I just keyed out the tissue, most of the shirt. So we really kept the central part of the injury, and so we just. After having this as a base, we can just go over here, take this sequence. That's the original sequence that we have, so we can just drag it to make it bigger. So what's happening is that he gets shots 2 times. So first on the chest, and secondly in the shoulder. And what we wanted is to track different positions from the shoulder and the chest so the bullet can follow the actual footage. But for that we had to track motion, and it's obviously this After Effects. Using After Effects we can do that quite rapidly. So if I can just double click, you can see all the little key points that After Effects calculated. The only problem is that normally it's really a very fluid process, but in that case, since the shirt was pretty blank, there's no proper point to track on, so I had to manually track different points. So especially for the chest one, the shoulder shot was a bit better because I have this little tiny line that made me do the effect. But yeah, while processing the whole tracking shots, we can clearly see there's a boom. So I have a little squirt of blood that came out of footage effect, just coming here over here. You can quickly see frame by frame. It's really just bursting out the wall. And it's pre-keyed footage, so I just had to drag it off the timeline, and it came off right directly, pre-keyed out. Just fit it with the wound, match it with the wound, and yeah, the shot was done. Then I just had to key it out, do a little masking. So if I just go to the wound, so we can see that I've actually did a masking job. Yeah, I've worked also on masking the wound out, because the wound gets in and out of the shot. So that's one thing that happened, and then all processed out, rendered out, and exported out. When we bring it to the timeline, fit it with the right color tones, the color correction, and then the whole framing, the letterbox. The effect is finished and done. I'm ready for the timeline to be fitting the rest of the project. Yeah.
Cool. So the main problem was just tracking then, because it was a white shirt. There was no.
Yeah. If you learned something from this project, will be to put a little tracker where you want to put it, I guess, because we can wipe out whatever tracker you put on that day, and that makes just the process easier. But it just took roughly 2 large days to accomplish this, the full effect. So yeah.